600
Isha siya ko sa Murat Machine! Ikala na dekala maika! Kihoveji! Kidnasa!
Quitla kahaita, Joska!
Demonash! Shikhanad de Big! Hozochi!
O Magda ha Fremen! Sakasa si Suhayata Persia!
She's right! She's right!
What up, you handsome and beautiful person that just clicked on this video? Welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing F1. I almost said Top Gun Maverick, but nope, this is F1. Directed by the guy who did Top Gun Maverick. This movie is basically just Top Gun Maverick with cars. F1. This movie was freaking sick, okay? I freaking love this movie. The racing scenes, absolutely phenomenal. All right, I think all of you know what this movie's about. It's about F1 racers. Me and my friend are both into cars, and we were literally giddy watching these racing scenes. Like, oh my gosh, it was so cool. The sound design, they shot this movie in real F2 cars. They shot in F2 cars that were specially made to look like F1 cars. And Brad Pitt and Damson actually drove the cars. They were rigged with up to 15 cameras traveling at speeds of up to 180 to 200 miles an hour. If you ask me, that's pretty badass. So yeah, made for a really entertaining viewing experience. The casting was, dare I say, excellent. Brad Pitt, obviously one of the GOATs. I heard a quote about him the other day that said he was a character actor trapped in a leading man's body. And I thought that was really funny because when you watch his, I don't even know what you'd call it, discography or something. If you watch his career movies, he has a very wide range of characters that he's played. Even though people tend to want to cast him in these leading man roles, he's actively seeking, unconventional roles. This one was a very, very leading man role, but he did a phenomenal job. He's Brad Pitt. He's going to kill it. He basically just played himself, and I had no problems with that. He did a fantastic job. His supporting cast freaking crushed it as well. Carrie Condon, Damson Idris, and Javier Bardem all delivered phenomenal performances. And let's not forget the Oscar nominees, Max Verstappen. They killed it as well. I don't think they actually received any direction from Jonathan Kaczynski, but they were in the movie, and that's pretty cool. I think that's why it felt really real, because it was real races in real racing circuits with real F1 cars, or F2 cars technically, with real F1 drivers like in the movie. And it created a viewing experience that felt very real. I always can appreciate when a movie uses practical effects instead of just CGI. Because I think, one, CGI ages really poorly, and two, you kind of deep down, you know the difference. So when a movie, I think CGI should be a tool that's used to enhance a movie, but not a crutch that most movies actually rely on nowadays. So I really liked how real this movie felt. The music and the score were fantastic. I mean, it was pretty dynamic with rock and roll and rap to get you pumped up for the scenes. But then the actual score was really good to keep you on the edge of your seat. Made for a very enjoyable viewing experience. Now the story was okay. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It didn't subvert the genre or subvert your expectations in any crazy way. It was a pretty generic story. But to me, writing is the most important aspect of a story. But as long as it's not bad and doesn't distract from the actual movie itself, I think the other elements of the movie can carry it. And I think that's what happened here. Even though the story was generic, the movie was able to get away with it because of the good acting, the entertaining action sequences, everything lifted it up. And so I think that's what they did with Top Gun Maverick. I think that's another example of a very generic story, but ended up being a freaking awesome movie. I don't think you have to constantly subvert expectations or the genre. You can make a simple movie, a simple plot. The ending, funny enough, was kind of subverted at least my expectations, without spoiling anything. It was still pretty generic, but given that how generic it was previously in the movie, I think it subverted my expectations pretty well. I know that's really vague, but I'm trying not to spoil the ending. I think this is the movie of the summer. You can go watch it by yourself. You can take your friends, take the family. It's just such a blast to watch. It's definitely not freaking Sinners. Get that movie out of here, okay? I think Joseph Kosinski basically replicated what he did with Top Gun Maverick. Maybe not as much of a cultural phenomenon, but I think both movies are very similar in quality. Listen, lastly, I can appreciate that this was an original script. Honestly, I'm so tired of seeing prequels and sequels and spin-offs and reboots. Even though this is basically Top Gun with cars, it's still an original script, and that's very refreshing. But that's my review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.